the best of the week on Relevant Radio.
We're talking about spiritual dryness today on the program. Our spiritual director is Father John Eckert, pastor of Sacred Heart Catholic Church in Salisbury, North Carolina. Let's go now to Tamara, calling in from Orland Park, Illinois. Tamara, welcome to The Inner Life.
Hi, thank you so much for taking my call. I'm feeling this dryness myself, which is quite surprising because I have like a full compassion for the Lord, and I don't understand how this is coming to me. And so my question for you is, do you just keep picking yourself up and doing it? I was just saying the rosary, for instance, went to the chapel saying the rosary, and usually I can almost feel God's presence, but this time, like, I'm not feeling it, but maybe I'm wanting it so bad. So that's my question for you.
Tamara, it's a beautiful question, and keep praying the rosary, okay? Whether it's knocking your socks off or whether it's dry as a bone. Because thing to remember, we're not the primary actors in our prayer, okay? Like, our Lord is. And you may be doing absolutely nothing wrong. You're showing up, you're being faithful. And just because maybe today, our Lord kind of, withholds his face a little bit, but you're still going for it. You're still longing. And you can find out, it's like, hey, I'm still there. I'm gonna keep going, and he may be just kind of like drawing you deeper and deeper into his love. One analogy I was kind of thinking about, and I think this applies, you think about St. Peter, fishing all night and catching nothing, and then our Lord saying, put out into the deep. And Peter, basically saying, Lord, really? I mean, we've been fishing all night. Like, we are professional fishermen. This is what I do. And you don't know what you're talking about. Look, put out into the deep. And he does, and he goes out there. He puts out into the deep. Now, would Peter have done that if he had gotten a decent catch of fish the night before? No. But because he didn't, because there was the dryness, because there was the lacking, it opened up this opportunity of having to grow a little bit more in trust of our Lord. And then he did follow. He did put out into the deep. And look what happened, And so what I would say is, don't give up. There's going to be some days where it's not amazing. I wish I could tell you that as a priest, like, every time I celebrate Mass, like, my life is just like radically altered and it's amazing. I mean, I'm literally holding the Son of God in my hands, body, blood, soul, and divinity. But it doesn't knock my fingers off, right, and just like cast me to the ground. Now I have to keep praying, keep being there, keep asking him to draw me deeper and deeper. Now, there are some times I'm like moved to tears at the Eucharistic prayer, and then there are other times that, I mean, for lack of a better phrase, it's like the routine that I'm in every day. But just because it may be the routine day doesn't mean that I don't show up and celebrate the Holy Sacrifice of the Mass. He may be calling me to put out into the deep, to keep going deeper, to keep giving him my heart more. And the only other thing I would say, Tamara, is, our vocal prayer is so important. Pray that rosary. Don't ever stop praying the rosary. I love it. It's one of my favorite prayers that there is. But at the same time, too, make sure that you're talking to our Lord from your heart as well. Talk to him about what's going on. What are the challenges right now? What's happening? Because sometimes he may want us to just kind of linger on one of those mysteries for a little bit. Okay, what was our Blessed Mother feeling as she walked to the hill country to see Elizabeth? I may feel a little bit overwhelmed right now. Mary, help me to understand what's going on in my heart. Like, how does the mystery of my life right now relate to this mystery? Not just, okay, I got to get this rosary done, but just linger there for a little while. Talk to our Lord. Talk to our Blessed Mother from your heart, because that may be the deeper that he's calling you to go into.
Tamara, thanks for the call. And as we were listening to Tamara's question and her point, and then your response, Father, our very astute and spiritually mature young Thomas, who is taking our phones today, he put in the chat here that I can see, he said, give your suffering in prayer to God as well. And I just think that's kind of what you were just saying, Father, about, talk to God about what's going on as well. And I think that that's actually something that I'll speak again for myself, because who else can I speak for? It's not something I think to do often. Yeah,
like he loves our prayers. He wants us to be at Mass. He wants us to pray the rosary. But he also wants your heart. He wants you to talk to him about what's going on. And I'll tell you, I think one of the things I hear a lot about people struggling in prayer is just, Father, I get so distracted. It's like, don't worry. Like, okay, yeah, Mass, don't be thinking about what you're going to buy at the grocery store later. But make sure that you get some quiet time with our Lord to talk to him about what's distracting you. Like, why are you worried about this upcoming interaction with someone? Tell him what's going on with that. Don't just be upset because you're not a robot and can't focus perfectly on every Hail Mary, word for word. Tell our Lord from your heart what happened, what's going on, because he wants to hear from you.
This entire episode of The Inner Life is on the Relevant Radio app. The Relevant Radio app is completely free and updated daily with fresh articles, podcasts, and prayers. Don't delay. Download the app today. And thanks for listening.